I am thrilled to have Medina Scott of Get V Wired, an awesome sponsor of Super Dentist Boost, and she's going to help us answer this one question that will help all of us as dentists and humans. How can dentists decrease stress, Medina, outside the operatory?
First of all, Paul, thank you so much for having us here.
Sure.
Super excited to be here. Blessed and grateful to be here. That's a really big question,
Yeah.
and it's a great question because, what I find with a lot of our clients, that's what they're struggling with, is trying to figure out how they can optimize, the front office. And so, what I like to share with people, I always tell them, look at it from the patient's perspective. For example, I think that the patient experience starts way before they call to schedule an appointment. And I always tell our teams, think of it, it starts with a chart where it's a number 10. My excitement level is at a 10.
Yeah.
So, they look at your website, they look at the content that you have on there, how to schedule the appointment, and they're excited. So they book the appointment, they call and speak to a front office. It's either the experience is going to go well or it's not.
So that first phone call is so critical because people are judging you. I've actually seen some of our sponsors bad reviews of dental offices just based on calling the office. I'm like, hey, you didn't even come in and get the filling done to get annoyed with me.
Yeah.
So you're sharing that. Yeah, that first call is just so critical to office success.
Exactly, because that excitement level again will drop down to an 8 if it's not a great call. And a lot of the time it's because front office are busy. They're checking insurance, they're checking out a patient, they are working on their scheduling, they're trying to coach staff. So you always want to think of it that way. And then when the patient walks in, their excitement level is at an 8, and if your front office is not really focused on the patient, that excitement level drops down to a 7.
So distractions, I mean, I see this in my own office, and I think sometimes we should just be more genuinely understanding of how hard it is to be at a front desk and have a phone ringing, a patient in front of you, a team member asking a question, and a lot of times we don't give our own front desk team members the tools.
No, we don't. And take that even further, the patient will go in the back, they're excited about being in there, now the assistant comes in, takes x-rays, the excitement level goes down to, what do you think, Paul?
Yeah, it could be at a 5.
Yes.
Most people don't want to. Sometimes people open up with, I hate you, the dentist, right?
Yes,
I was like,
exactly.
you can keep that in your head, but they don't. I'm like, you don't have to say that.
Yeah.
So now you've just walked us through how in an environment people don't even want to be in, it's easy for them to kind of just get demoralized at the dental office.
And so we have to, now more than ever, especially with the pandemic, hard to find staff, we have to figure out ways how to really support our teams. Because a lot of what I find is, many of us that work in a dental office, they love being with patients. They love working with patients. They love the field. But over time, that love is diminished because of all the stress. And not just the staff, the owners.
It's kind of like making a meal. You're like, I got to chop all this stuff. Now I don't even want the meal, right? So you guys really help a lot with outsourcing this annoyance, which has just been built into the fabric of dentistry, whether you're in a network with 58 plans or you're not in a network with any, with outsourcing insurance billing. How does this decrease outside the operatory stress?
Outsourcing is not a new thing. There's, think of outside of dentistry, Google does it all the time. When Google first started, they outsourced a lot of things. And I think a lot of dentists, they don't think that you can outsource some of the tasks that you can do in the office, but it's not true. You outsource your marketing. Why not outsource answering your phones? Why not outsource things like checking eligibility? So instead of your staff focusing all that time calling insurance companies, they can now focus on calling patients.
And what's cool about what companies like you do is you have signed up to embrace this annoyance daily, and because share with us, Medina, that even if you want to do some of this yourself, because sometimes dentists are DIYers to their own annoyance, why is it hard even for companies like you? These insurance companies can be difficult to deal with, right?
Because that's all we focus on. So, we work with a lot of groups that are trying to scale and grow, add on multiple practice. So they always say, centralize, find something that you can centralize right away. And it's usually things like phones, insurance. The issue is, yes, you're centralizing it, but you're still having to deal with hiring the staff, training them, and that costs. With our team, that's all we focus on. We have a team that just focuses on eligibility, a team that just focuses on billing, and a team that focuses on answering phones.
It's such a good point. I'm a big basketball fan. My dream was playing in the NBA. It didn't work out so well. But since we're here in Philadelphia, like they don't ask Joel Embiid while he's playing, like, do we have enough Gatorade for the next game, right? Because that's a distraction. So I think it's just a key part of as a developing your dentistry course to look to do this. What kind of impact has this had on some of these practices that you've done this for?
We had several, so we have all types of clients. So we've had some that are just starting off, even during the pandemic. So a lot of them, it's really hard. Imagine opening up a practice and then having to shut it down. And then on top of that, having to find staff.
Yeah.
And so the impact on that, the owners, they're able to save on their overheads.
Right.
They're able to have a support team. They may not be there physically, but we stay connected with them every single day just to kind of cheer them on. And sometimes when you're a business owner, you need that.
Yeah, for sure.
You need that encouragement.
Yeah, you're
you
morale boost. People are like, don't pat yourself on the back. I'm like, no one else is patting it ever,
that
right?
because you're a
It's just
business
this
owner,
person.
like
Yeah.
you got it all.
Yeah,
That's not how
I think that's so key.
realistically-
At this
yeah.
event, I mean, I encourage you. One of my most important people in my life is my amazing patient care coordinator, Kate, who's going to be here. And I have a lot of new ideas. And she said to me recently, because sometimes adopting my new ideas is like dealing with a friendly tornado, but she actually said to me, outsourcing insurance billing was one of the best things you did for me over this past 2 or 3 years. So I encourage people to test out things in their office, because when you take annoyance off your plate, you can do things like spend more time with patients, remember why you enjoy doing dentistry, make more money,
Exactly.
because there's a cost to all of these things in morale. So I really appreciate you sharing that, Medina. Really did an awesome job. You're just a great person to have in the Nachoverse. We truly appreciate it. And I'm glad you've signed up to fight annoyance with dentists all the time.
We're excited to be here. I mean, we have a story to share and we're happy to help. So
Awesome.
yeah, thank you for
Thanks
having
so
us.
much.